Well, if you're having girl problems up above you, son, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lied. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mic. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah, signaling their pick on their profile.
Make me suck the sushi off this stick.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, where Sasquatch Shills so you don't have to. The whole purpose of this show is to promote channels that are putting in the work. They're doing the stuff in, day out, whether it's the editing, the music, the backdrop sounds, whatever it is that they're doing the work on YouTube and they're doing that thing. And that's really the most important part of the people that I choose to highlight, right? There are two ways to end up on this show. One, a previous guest that has done the show points out your channel specifically and says, why don't you interview this man, this woman, this seamstress, or whatever it is they do? And I get some of my most interesting content out of these. These are some of my favorites. Or you can just be dedicated to the craft. And I will eventually find your channel because Sasquatch is everywhere. So here's who we got tonight. One, Mr. Jack Talcott, who has one of the more interesting takes of anyone on YouTube that I've seen. Now, whether you like him, love him, hate him, or have a disparaging type of relationship where y'all just throw stuff at each other over a fence, I don't care. That's not my call. We're here to discuss YouTube, and that's where I'm going to keep it. Now, chat, my mods have been warned. So y'all have fun, but keep it clean. No weapons, and try to keep the elbows inside the vehicle at all times. Welcome to the show, Jack. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm feeling blessed, and I'm showing up as an amateur. Sorry about that delay. I had a tab running in the back. I feel honored, brother. Thank you.
Don't go too far down that road. I'm a guy pretending to be a mythical creature, pretending to be a guy on YouTube. How seriously are you going to take this? That's totally up to you. But we're going to let you go ahead and tell everybody what the name of your channel is, how to find you, who you are, and why you're doing what you're doing. Because I find it difficult to tell people what it is that you're doing that I personally have witnessed you do. And then take me seriously about it. And I'm like, okay, well, fine. I'm going to talk to him, see if I can interview him. And so here we are, right? So take it away, brother.
Thank you. Yes, I am Jack Talcott, found under the same name online, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter's Talcott Jack. But regardless, I'm online. I've been doing this for a little while. The purpose of what I do, it is for love and peace. I'm a man of today who found myself on a very interesting life path that brought me to believe that the things I'd learned could be helpful for others. And what I've learned is truly how to live freely without fears and worries about the governments or the economics or the wars and depression. And yet that's kind of the topic I talk about all the time, is I think that we have the opportunity to bring peace to the world and bring some dramatic reforms.
You're good. No, continue by all means.
Okay. Yeah,
I have to push one button at a time. If I get too quick with it, it kind of fruits up. And so we're going to do it slow.
Well, part of this too, I spent a life like many others. I worked hard. I believed in the right things. I thought. I donated money. I saved for retirement. And I thought things were kind of as good as they could be. But along my life development as an adult, I spent time with union as a union employee. I became active with the union, and then not just my union, but
I'm sorry, bud. I can't control what you do when I'm not around. And that union habit, that's one of those things kind of hard to kick once you get involved. I mean, it kind of gets into you and amongst you, and it's kind of hard to scrape off. Go ahead, bro.
That's what I found. Actually, it was the investments of the union. The union helped me learn how to be a better advocate, how to be a better leader. And so the union helped me become a better person. But in my life, I carried around the heart of an activist. And so I got to play that role in a few different ways. And then my life started changing in 2018 before I came online, before I ventured online. And as my life was changing, I started learning a whole bunch of different things, primarily about self-development, about mental, physical, and emotional health. I studied those things. And so then I figure, all right, take the heart of an activist and the education of a coach, put those things together. That's the path for me. I want to help inspire, encourage, and motivate other people to dream bigger for their own lives so that we can find a way together. If everyone's got a goal where they're setting out to change the world and make the world a better place, if we're all heading in that direction, we can just meet at the ending. It'll be great.
Okay. Wouldn't we all have to agree on that tantamount ending? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So you're sitting around one afternoon and you decide to start a YouTube channel. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about any previous channels that may have existed, but this channel, this channel was a conscious decision on your part. And what is the essential nugget of this channel? What does it promote as a brand other than yourself? What is the overarching design on the channel?
Love. Conscious love, intentional love, overcoming limitations and old paradigms. That's what I'm hoping to get across. But I tend to confuse a lot of people, which Caucasian says, this is exactly what I was saying. I am so grateful to cross paths with you because of what you've learned.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about me, man. This is all about you.
All right.
No, dude, it's fine. What are you getting at?
Skill sets, man. You got different skill sets, different connections than I do.
And different motivations.
And
My motivations are purely my own. They are until you've been backstage with me on a Sasquatch Shills, you don't really get to see why I do the things I do. It's very unlike other channels, and the type of admixture that takes place here is very different from most debates or other promotional type shows, because in the After Dark, I'm going to drop the link and previous guests can come up and join us, right? Okay, so this video here is your most viewed video that I could find publicly available in your catalog. Okay. Is there anything in this particular video that you want to discuss or you want to tell people about? Or do you want to just move on to the rest of what we're doing?
Do you remember what's the stream title?
The title of this one, is To Be a Boss or a Leader, open panel. This one was uploaded, hold on, a year ago, which could be as much as a year and 3 weeks ago. So
Sure.
yeah. I haven't sat and watched this whole thing, but I kind of skedaddled through it here, there, and everywhere. And y'all are all over the place. I mean, this particular batch of people is hard to follow on their own, right? So individually, I'm completely lost on what's going on here. And I don't know that if I watched the whole thing, it would help. Right.
I agree.
This is the way the show goes. Your most popular video is played while you discuss whatever you'd like to.
I'm not sure why that one stood out. The boss or leader, that is something that that's part of the messages that I hope to carry. We live in a world of people playing as bosses, and then a bunch of other people convincing themselves they have to obey. And what we're lacking in this world is leadership. That's what I've been studying for myself.
Well, leadership's a funny thing. Leadership, not something you can demand. It's not like, I mean, you don't demand leadership from someone unless you believe they can be a leader in the first place, because you only ask things of people that they can do. So you wouldn't want to find a weak man who has no leadership potential and has no desire to do so, and then give them, an order, go be a leader and lead these people. And it might work. It has worked in the past, but that's not a winning strategy. Winning strategy is go find you a type A type dude and just hook the cart to him and let him wander with the carrot in front of him. You don't beat those, you reward them, or at least make them think they're going to get a reward. Welcome to the carnival of YouTube, people.
What you were describing is one of my criticisms of the world we live in, the way that promotions are made in many corporations, not necessarily leadership, just, the favorite or whatever.
Think it through, bro. You don't want leadership in a corporation. You want a drone that'll follow orders from the top. And so you don't promote based on leadership. You promote based on ancillary productivity, not necessarily doing their job, but the job they actually do when they're at the company. So you say you've got a secretary. She can't file for shit, can't type, can't even send an email for nothing. She's really hot, makes great coffee. The great coffee by itself is a good reason to keep her as a secretary, because I would rather have good coffee and do my own freaking paperwork, right? That way I know it's right. So it's the coffee. And it's really hard for men to get angry at a really hot chick. And so if she's out front, it immediately tones down all conversations with no effort on the part of the company. So psychology also counts in.
This is one of the things I love about you is your perspective. It is different than most, at least from what I've seen.
You're not the first one to point that one out. I think that's why I have a channel.
Hey, regarding this video though, who knows why it got popular? It could have been because the
I think it was
guest
the title.
or the energy.
I believe it was the title. And I think when you actually uploaded it at the time, that was right around the time I found your channel the first time, because I kind of breezed in, watched a little bit of your stuff, and I think YouTube unsubscribed me. But I looked up like 2 or 3 months later and was on a panel with you on Flow States. And I was like, I'm subscribed to that guy. Like, where's his channel? What was he doing? And I scrolled back through and couldn't find you and asked you for your link. I was like, oh yeah, okay. So you're standing on a premise of love, right? This is your foundation, that you're the rock you're gonna lag your entire foundational net worth on, essentially. That's admirable as a grape, man. That is just as noble as a grape. How do you think people do things willingly, or are they forced to do these things?
We all do what we want, but the mind will be very convincing and say that we do things because we have to, because others made us.
I believe that might be a victimhood mentality, where you blame others for the decisions you made, right?
Yep.
You see, it's nobody's fault but my own that I didn't go to college. I made the decisions that led to that particular situation. That whole situation blew out of proportion because I did not handle it well. So while it was a minor issue, it turned into a major stumbling block in my life. How do you come back from situations like that? I mean, you're trying to move forward through all of this, and the only way I can see is to pay attention to the everlasting now. Planning for the future is fine. Learning from the past is acceptable, beneficial even. Learning from other people's mistakes is golden, right? If you can't do that, I'm not going to hire you in the first place, if I can help it. But I think from a highly capitalistic point of view, where people do things based either on merit, or it comes down to earnings, whether it's social, physical, or actual wealth, we can even discuss clout on this level, because that's essentially what YouTube deals in, is clout. It's the exchange of exposure back and forth, so much so that it almost sounds like a virus when you discuss it. It makes you feel dirty a little bit, don't it?
When you put it that way, a little. It's sharing of attention. I don't know. I kind of lost track there.
So do you believe that there is a competition structure for this type of content? What I'm asking is, do you feel like there's competition with what you're doing?
I found that there seems to be many who are competing with me and they don't know what they're doing.
Are they competing or just in opposition? Because someone who is in opposition merely disagrees and will say so, but someone who competes may actually take resources from you through their competition, and that's a little different.
I'd say I'm facing both. I've found a lot of resistance and confusion to my efforts.
But do you consider it competition, is what I'm asking? Are there other channels out there that do something similar, or that you interact with, that you view as being not oppositional, but merely like maybe equals? I
There's
guess.
I see peers. There's many
Peers.
peers.
Thank you. That's a perfect word. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Peers.
Yeah. With what I'm doing, the ones that I find that I resonate with, it's not a competition. I actually hope to promote some of their work, and eventually if they meet, hopefully they'll do the same.
Right. Right. I came across a channel a while back called uh Armed AAP, Armed American Patriot. He's been through half a dozen channels since then, but he has this promotional concept from beekeeping. Apparently he used to keep bees, and he learned everything you could possibly know about bees, and he uses a lot of bee knowledge in his freaking channel, and it's kind of represented by the idea of cross-pollination. We're not actually in competition. I cannot do what you do. I could say exactly the same words in exactly the same way, put on a perfect Jack Talcott impression. And while it would get a lot of views and people would laugh at it, it would not have the same message. The reasons, the motivations, the desires, the design, everything behind it would be different. And so while it might be offensive to you, other people would find it entertaining, right? And then there in that lies a little bit of value, I think. Right.
Mhm.
Now, the same thing, like the clip of Flow State at the end of the intro saying, lick the sushi off this stick. Dude, I've been watching him for like over a year and a half now, just waiting for the perfect clip to put in my intro because it's a gorgeous thing. It is a little bit of editing, and you can have a whole show based around it. Blue unicorn. You're not allowed to eat the rich, at least not today. Ask me again tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't want to eat the rich, but we
Let me
want
ask
the
you
rich
a question.
to feed the poor.
If you were in a zombie apocalypse and you had a dog and you came across a neighbor and y'all are the last two people on earth as far as you can tell, and you're starving. The neighbor suggests you kill the dog and eat it, and the dog suggests you kill the neighbor and eat him. Which one are you going to do?
I'll question myself for listening to a dog.
Okay, well, okay, I'll give you that one, but you know what the dog's thinking.
I'm
I know, it's a
vegan.
bit of an absurd question.
I'm vegan. I'm not going to murder for.
So we're not murdering the dog or the person. So they
No.
both kill you, and then they go find other neighbors, right? Wait, here's my point with it, though. I'm going to kill the neighbor, and me and the dog are going to eat well because the dog can help me find more neighbors. That neighbor is only going to eat more. And then demand more food when we finish eating the dog. But the dog can help me find more food. I'm just saying it's a really cutthroat business, bro. Like the whole YouTube sphere thing. None of us actually know each other. And yet we're all trying to put forth a honest and, direct concept. We all have our narrative. We all have our ideals that we're pushing. Is that wrong?
I think everything comes down to intentions. I don't think. I think there's a lot of people online and offline. They don't actually have clear intentions on why they're doing what they're doing. People do things.
Yes, sir. You have just hit the nail on the head. I have no idea why people do the things they do, but it is hilarious every time I look at it.
This is what I realized. Those without conscious minds, they're living subconsciously, reactive and in memory and imagination. They're trapped in their heads, not in reality. I used to live that way.
Are you talking about NPCs or do you have a particular do you call them something in particular? You've had to have named them at some point in time. My brother called them Fruit Loops.
I'm polite. I call them confused.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying everybody has personal words they use to kind of define a whole sector without having to go through the whole, well, like the knitters are knitters. This is an entire section of YouTube that are a bunch of old ladies and young men who have decided to knit on YouTube for whatever reason. And I've been trying to get an interview with some of these people for like 2 years. They're completely not interested.
They just want to knit.
Okay, let me ask you this then. When you go to the bathroom and sit down on the pot, and you pull out your cell phone and go to whoever's hot today, whatever it is, who do you watch? What channels does Jack watch?
Oh, on YouTube?
Yeah, specifically YouTube. I'm not after the rest of your life.
My favorites are John St. Julian and Aaron Abke.
Might have to spell some of that shit, dude. I'm from Georgia.
Aaron Abke, Abke. He's a teacher in the Course of Miracles, if you've ever heard of that.
Ooh. I've heard of, I think I might have read the freaking title somewhere, but I don't know where. You've actually named a book I haven't read, which, I mean, I'm not a specialist. I'm a generalist in all things that I can think of to look into. And you've managed to worm your way into a little corner of the internet that I'm unfamiliar with. So I'm here to learn.
This is why our paths crossed. I'm telling you, my friend. That A Course in Miracles, I came across it a few years ago, and it's a very interesting read. I went to a local book study for it too here, but hey, what Aaron does and what John St. Julian does, they talk about the mystical aspects of life, the unity of spirituality, and the purpose of love. So those guys, those are people who I've learned quite a bit from, but there's a bunch I follow. We live in it, not to keep going, but this is the thing I finally woke up and realized. Holy shit, we live in an age of knowledge.
Snark and Sass says we live in the future. Take advantage of it.
We do.
She's currently right now having a birthday party for herself on StreamYard with 10 of her favorite friends from YouTube. And it's amazing. She's doing it backstage. They're getting hammered. It's absolutely hilarious. I was over there right before I came over here. And if you don't know Snark and Sass, that's your fault, not mine.
Not yet. But this life we're living, not to disclose, but I think it was part of the conversation earlier. The lifetime we lived in where Blockbuster was a reality, right? And before the internet age, before the .com growth, we're living at a time where we have access to so much knowledge. There is no reason to deny each other's children and education. And then when you start thinking about that, there's really no reason to deny each other health care or proper nutrition, stuff like that. I think the world is confused. That goes back to what do you call them? We live in a world of confusion.
I don't disagree with you on that. There's a lot of very confused people in the world, and a lot of them seem to get on TV, and the rest of them get on YouTube. All right, so I've got a bit I'm fixing to do, right? But I want to double check and make sure I got the right video. Is this your first publicly available upload?
It looks like one of the early ones.
Okay, well, publicly available. That means if you put anything unlisted or private or behind a paywall or anything like that, I wouldn't have access to it. Actually, maybe. Oh my God. After we do this bit, I'm going to go through chat and say hey to everybody. But we've got a star in chat, y'all. Oh, Woofy has arrived. You the Genesis video, right? I went to school with him. He's an asshole. So let me do the bit. I'm real good at this. I'm a professional. Y'all just stick around. You'll be impressed because it's terrible editing, badly done, and is a cheeky gimmick.
You don't want cars?
Yes, I'm a paleontologist.
Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag, too. I am a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
Because I'm a YouTube paleontologist, and I went and dug up your oldest video available. Welcome to the show. All right, so at this point, we're going to go through and do a little ditty on chat. They've had enough time to get rolling real good. So I got this thing that I do, and unfortunately, it takes forever to get back through chat when they're active, and chat is active. Ooh, 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 ooh. Right? Come on, I gotta know. I know Scotty Waddles was the first person in here. So Scotty Waddles, you get the gold. There you are. Right? Fraser Crane gets the silver. And I think he might have some advice on how I can improve my channel. That's what he seemed to be saying. And let's see. Wattlife. Yeah, Wattlife gets the bronze. So I appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all are extra special in my heart. Some of these people were here hours, days before it started. They popped in and started chatting. So I love each and every one of you like a brother and a sister. Now we have a veritable who's who of the panelverse over here in chat currently. We've got just Margot, right? She's in here. We have Station 33, and I think we might all know who that is. But if you don't come in under your real name, I can't call you by your real name, can I? Swiss Miss, who is going to be moderating the chat this evening. She is she's not a managing moderator. AJOT is, but she was late, so we'll say hey to her later in the chat. Smoking Auditor is another one of our moderators. Say hey to him on your way in because he's super nice. That dude's nicer than Jack, and that's nothing against you, man. This dude, I don't know how he's so nice. He's from Ohio. He came on as a guest. He talked to me. We had a lovely conversation. It was absolutely amazing. Okay, Arpol, welcome in, bud. I've heard about you. I don't think we've ever actually met, or if we have, you might have been like, StreamYard masked with a different name because some people put names on people. I don't know. We'll see. The Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What is up, bud? This is one of my favorite parts of the show because there's always new people that we haven't seen before. That which is good to see you. NPC the game. I think the three of us need to get together and have us a conversation because apparently there's some drama or something. We could probably get some views out of it, and if somebody's monetized anywhere, they might be able to make money somewhere. Right? We got Rebecca Joe. What's up? Chuck in Tennessee has joined the chat. We got Prairie. Hey, check it out. You got to suck the sushi off this stick because Flow State's here now. He gets off his strike in like 6 hours or something like that. Maybe 12. I don't know. It's real soon. Real soon. Welcome in, Michelle. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. Carpenter's Journey. This guy emailed me a couple of weeks ago, right? And when he emailed me under his real name. And I was like, I thought I recognized the name. And he just asked me some basic YouTube questions. So I answered them. And then proved to me that I had no idea who I was talking to. And I had to sit there for like an hour and try to figure out how to send this guy an email that doesn't make me seem like an asshole when I'm clearly being an asshole. So sorry, but that happens sometimes. Oh, we got El Perro, who was actually part of the last video we had up as a one weird wizard. And everyone called him Word Wizard, which is a bit of a misnomer, and I'm going to hold you to that one there, Hucklebus. Come at me. What say, Lou? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. which is we got pretty much everybody. The Sanity Machine has showed up. Anarchy Television, welcome to the show, bud. Appreciate you coming through. Ajot has finally arrived in the building, and we will now say hey to her. Y'all are now permitted to speak to Ajot. Because you got to keep control of your flock, right? Or is that why we have dogs? You know, I say YouTube's a carnival. We got Izzy Sky. Welcome in, bud. Kane's Catharsis. And the reason I say YouTube's a carnival is because there's just about every type of personality you can imagine at a carnival. Whether you're behind the booth or one of the walking or whatever, if you're Mark or however that works. But you can pretty much sum up all of YouTube. Every single channel you come across as some level of carnival game, because the house is always crooked since we have control over our own channels. I think we got most everybody in chat. When I catch up to the bottom, if you chat, I'll freaking chat you out. It's part of the show. Usually don't have this many people in here, so go with it. Emperor Dave, yeah, good to see you. So this video, very earliest one I can find, it's 2 minutes 50 seconds long. Is it too cringe worthy to watch it with you?
I like hearing my voice. I don't remember what I said.
I talk a lot. Sometimes I have to tune myself out. I hear you, bud.
Although I do find I think I sound better sped up. I can't stand listening to myself at regular speed, but whatever you think.
All right, bud.
Hello, my brothers and sisters.
See if we can make this happen. Oh, this is before you discovered microphones.
An inspirational and motivational speaker. Also a certified life.
This is terribly low. There's no way anybody over there is going to hear it at all. So we'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, so, like I said, they invented this thing called a microphone years after this, and he discovered it. And once he discovered it, his life began. So you found a microphone, and you decided to go on. What is this? Is this life coaching? Is this a ministry? Is it? I mean, what is it?
It started out as a number of things.
Sure.
I use my channel kind of as it's evidence of me. I share my story, so it's kind of a vlog.
Wait, hold on. Evidence of you. No, I get this. No, that makes sense to me. I dig it. You don't really have to. You can explain it to everyone else, but I think I get it.
You get it. Well, I use it kind of as a vlog. I share my story, and I've shared a bunch of the things I've been facing and the things I've been learning. But then the other part of it is my hope is my story and the things I've been learning. I hope people can find value in that and, run with some of the lessons. Back to what you were saying earlier, we got to learn from each other.
Absolutely. See, that's one of the things I look for if I'm working with anyone. I watch them closely and try to determine whether they're the type of people who think in layers or the type of people that just do things. And if you're the type of person that just does things, you might be useful in my life, but there's no reason to put a whole lot of energy into it because you're going to do whatever it is you do in the first place. I can't stop you. I wouldn't want to stop you. It's not my design. I don't care. So when you come across someone who thinks in layers, they may also appear to be one of those just doers, but if you turn them loose to do a little more, they'll become inventive. And these guys are really useful if you can find them, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to get a bunch of inventive people together, and maybe one day we'll do a Kids in the Hall or a freaking Whose Line Is It Anyway or something where it's just a bunch of different YouTubers from a bunch of different spheres just doing a thing. And I don't care what it is. I just want to be involved.
I think that would be great.
Encouragement. I like that. Always like encouragement. I even like empty encouragement. And a lot of people want to give short shrift to the trolls that come in and say things so ironically that it almost sounds like a compliment. You know, that backhanded South Georgia, bless your heart type of stuff. Those people who think I don't speak Georgia. It's funny to me. How do you deal with that level of attention on the most minuscule of details? I like the message, but even Jesus got nailed to a cross. So how do we deal with this concept?
That's
a dangerous one. I know, bro.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I'm not claiming to be anything special. I'm just like everybody else. I just paid attention to the mistakes and the lessons I learned. But there's a similarity in the story between Jesus and I. My life has similar rings to several of the different biblical stories. And I know many others are like that as well. Well, I've been put through the ringer, so to say, went through the dark night of the soul and had to reevaluate everything.
Was that ayahuasca? Because that shit gave me an ego death that just was unreal, dude. Like for a whole 45 minutes there, I wasn't a thing. And I can't explain that. You're going to have to work with that on yourselves. Maybe talk to a therapist. They might be able to help you.
I understand what you're saying, but I've never done that. Mine was just a wake-up call from reality. My life changed, and so then I had to change the way I saw things, and I'm grateful it all happened. Because I used to live subconsciously in the American.
I'm sorry, that's a little too creepy. I can't do the double Jack Talcott. I'm sorry. That's just way creepy. That's way creepier than I thought it was gonna be, bro. It's not my fault. Don't judge me.
There is a limit to the amount of Jack that can be found.
We're gonna put this beautiful man up here for a minute while we finish. That's Resla, by the way. He was my last guest.
Oh, okay. Missed that.
It happens, man. I don't expect everybody to show up everywhere, and I really don't care what other people do. So, you know, we can go back to this one. That makes more sense. All right. Okay, let's say I ask this question to everybody that comes on the show, and I get a whole bunch of different answers. But in your case, let's say tomorrow you woke up, like you went to bed tonight, you put up a little video. It was like, hey, I was on Sasquatch Shills. It was pretty cool. We had a good time. Whatever, you know, and you trip, fall down or whatever, and you upload it, and it gets you 1 million subscribers overnight. It goes viral. It does that thing. Your phone is dead while it's plugged up to the wall. Suddenly you're a worldwide phenomenon, and you're the Hawk Tua girl, but of, you know, motivational speaking or whatever. I'm not sure how to make this analogy, but you get where I'm going. Suddenly you're successful. There's no explanation for it. Obviously it's the will of God or something, but poof, it happens. What do you do at that point? We wake up the next morning, you turn on your phone, and it dies trying to bring in your messages, right? There's celebrities, there's fucking, you know how it went with the Hawk Tua girl. You've heard the story. It's overnight sensation, merch lines, people would wear your face around. What do we do? What's the first thing we do?
That's step one. That's step one for my goals.
Awesome. Okay, but what I'm saying, what do you do to capitalize on that fame? How do you make that work for you?
We use that connection to open up the next doors of communication in front of Congress and the UN. We get the masses involved.
Kamala Harris spent $1 billion trying to get elected by bringing in different celebrities and whatnot. And I'm finding it hard to believe that the Hawk Tua girl, even if it was of world peace, the viral sensation of world peace, because I think world peace is an admirable goal. Noble is a great, bro. I'm all for it. In fact, I'm all for people promoting the concept and working towards it, because somebody needs to be working on that in the wings, right? I'm more of a self-defense kind of person. I believe in, like maintaining yourself and your environment yourself. It's kind of my philosophy on things. So, like the whole thing between me and God is between me and God, and you're not really invited on that one. It's nothing personal. No one else was invited either. If you've ever seen Braveheart, the weird Irish guy who talks directly to God. That's kind of how I view myself.
Okay.
I have to talk to God to speak to an equal. That's the only way an Irishman can speak to an equal. It's a bad joke, I know.
That's what I've been learning how to do, though, is how to truly discern just from the facts, to trust, to receive the information from the opinions of others, but to truly let the facts guide me. And the facts have been leading my choices, both opportunities and limiting. But life doesn't actually have to be as painful and scary as a lot of people want it to be.
Okay, let's go down that hole. Let's go down that rabbit hole. You watch the news, you see the stuff that happens in the world. There's an awful lot of animosity that's held at bay by convention, and a whole bunch more animosity that's not held at bay at all. In my experience, a lot of people who find discontent were discontented when they got there, right? It's not the environment they're in that causes them this passion. It is themselves and the way they view that environment.
What I've learned, I mentioned earlier, we're living in an age of information, right? There's so much knowledge available. I've been able to sit through truly college level classes, professors giving lectures and teaching about mind and psychology, trauma. We live in a world of confusion, but the answers are all available for us here. I totally took us off from where the topic was, from where you were.
Well, okay, all right. So there's no way to really analogize having a million subscribers overnight. There's no way to plan for this. I mean, we all think about it in the back of our heads, but none of us ever actually sit down and go, okay, well, what I would do is this. I'm that one Sasquatch in 10,000. I'm that guy who's trying to figure out what the next step is before it happens to me, because I'm ignorant as shit. I'm going to say some viral stuff one day and somebody's going to clip it and it's going to be absolute solid gold. And I'm going to ride that one clip all the way to my little cabin in the mountains where nobody can bother me because I can see down in all directions. So I can look down on the earth evenly. Is that a bit much? I can never tell.
No, I was picturing it. The beauty of an isolated cabin on the top of a mountain. I get it. I want to help you achieve that. I want to help a lot of people achieve their dreams. And I know that we all have a better chance of achieving our dreams manyfold through education, through cooperation, and through actual willingness. And what I've been allowed to learn,
no, go ahead, bro. I was just looking at my chat and the beautiful work my mods are doing. I've been waiting for that to go down all night, and it finally fucking triggered. I have no idea what triggered it, but it's kind of like a collapsing freaking accordion over yonder. It's like, I don't know. I'll bring y'all back later. It'll be okay. It's just a little hurt, in the fifis a little bit. It won't bruise. Put some dirt on it. You'll be fine. What's up, Adam807? Good to see you, bud. As Varun, I like this guy. I want to get together with him and have a discussion about the plurality of worlds, right? because Hindu has some really, really similar concepts to the Norse mythologies. The concept of like the way the afterlife functions and how you get there, and a bunch of things about cyclic time and how things are meant to be, and yet you have free will, but they're going to happen the way the gods say, and yet you can choose to do whatever you want to, right? They have really weird ideas about free will, and I think it'd be really interesting to have that conversation. I get some weird Hindu AI stuff in the background. It's fucking awesome. Throw in some Vikings, right? Be a good show. So we got about 10 minutes left. The way I usually handle this part is if you can do a straight 10-minute spiel, I'll give it to you. It's all yours, right? So if you want to go for it, fireball it. I'm good with that. If you run out of breath at some point, just let me know and I'll step in and be slightly entertaining while you cough up a loogie or whatever. All right, roll it.
I friggin' love this. Life, brothers and sisters, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Thank you for tuning in, supporting. Make sure and do the thumbs up for the Sasquatch Shills and share some support, whichever platform. But we are what the past has created. Each of us. See, my time here having conversations, it's been a joy because different perspectives broaden our minds, and those with broad minds often bring different perspectives. Caucasian Sasquatch appears to be a man similar to me, similar but obviously different, and maybe that's who we all are. We are all here, similar yet different. And when we can learn from the lessons of each other, being able to understand from those with broadened minds, those with different perspectives, the different perspectives that can be brought forth and shared between us, those ideas can transform lives. My life is an evidence of that, and I know of many other men and women whose lives were transformed. Maybe not immediately, but the choice to transform creates immediate and long-term consequences, results, the results of transformation. Once you find within yourself the clarity and the determination, the willingness to push out beyond what your old comfort zone and the old paradigms, what the familiar and the neighbors want to tell you you can do, this is the life I'm living. I never thought I would be trying to sell myself without cost, but sell myself nonetheless online, promoting the ideas of love, promoting the ideas of change. Man, I used to be so afraid of change. Change broke my heart. Change allows us to move forward. But I realize I'm kind of bouncing around here, aren't I? The idea.
I'm good with it, dude. If you get fed up trying to do this, let me know and I'll come in and do my Southern Baptist minister bit. It'll be great.
You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. The point is, we, all of us, diverse and entertaining and unique, all of us, even though we may be bruised and battled, carrying some wounds and defenses up from the past, even though we may be that way, when we can humble ourselves to be honest, be willing to trust, willing to really learn from another version of us. I learned this a long time ago. Learning is fun, especially if your heart is in it. You can see the value of learning. If you make that mindset your day and realize each day is an opportunity to learn more about you and the world you live in, when we're having fun, when we're paying attention, that's the best way to learn. And what I found for myself is the more I learned, the more I realized how little I knew, because there's more and more and more to be learned. And we don't have the time in our lives to learn everything on our own. We don't have the time in the day to do everything on our own. The world wants us to believe that we're all divided and we're in this on our own. It's partially true, but it doesn't have to stay that way. I trust the future of mankind includes all of us bringing our unique talents, our unique perspectives together so that we create a greater future for us all.
All right, so that's a bit that I do to people to see how they respond, and I threaten them with 10 minutes of dead air, and most people just freeze up, or some will even go in for the kill and try to do it, but have no follow-up for it whatsoever, right? So if they even make the effort, they get a thumbs up in my freaking book, bro. That's putting in the work. That's doing the thing on YouTube that we're all here to do. And if nothing else, it's entertaining. Whether anybody takes anything useful away from it or not, I don't even care. It's there. It's available to you. Probably available in a revival tent sometime soon. Because I mean, if you do the proper, I'm telling you, son, if you do the proper, if you do the proper revitalizing, I'm from Georgia. That's hard.
There is a revitalizing going on, though. I think we're reviving. We're awakening. We're
woke. I don't want to be woke.
You don't want to be asleep.
Well, I don't want to be woke because the whole woke thought process is cult. Bends your mind to think in certain ways. Because if you can't think freely, then how can you have unique ideas?
That's the thing. If you're not thinking freely, you're not woke. You're just pretending. And there's a lot of people pretending to be a lot of different things these days.
Sure. I was on a panel the other day about hidden motivations, and I really, really enjoyed it. Russell was hosting it, and if you can get across one of them, it's well worth at least sitting in and listening to it, if not participating, because that man thinks about things in layers, right? He plans out stuff that you would just leave to chance because you're a normal person. I really dig the way he puts things together, and I think he's got a real huge future on YouTube. I really do. You've managed to make a show. I'm proud of you. It was absolutely amazing. As far as everybody who got blocked in chat earlier, I'm going to go through and unblock people later. It'll be after the second part of the show. What's fixing to happen is I'm going to play my little outro bit. I'm going to end Jack's feed on this, and then I've got a video that I'm going to drop the link. Previous guests are welcome up here. I'm going to be a little bit tighter on that than usual. So that'll at least limit the trolls a little bit. So I'm trying, right? We do the best we can with what we got, and that's all we can do. So if you're on Jack's, you need to pop over to mine if you want to continue clowning on this whole situation. Feel free to laugh at me, laugh at Jack, laugh at whatever happens. From here on out, it's Sasquatch After Dark, and that's a little bit different. So, Jack, tell everybody you said bye.
Yeah. Folks over on my channel, I think swing over here. Did I understand that? Bye, everyone. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to drop you backstage for a moment, and we'll be right back with you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Sasquatch Shills. Remember, if you want to support the channel, you can donate to my, or maybe YouTube will give me some, just think happy thoughts, because I don't want your money. So I did this bit, and I played it at the very beginning, but I don't know if anybody saw it. And I'm thinking about putting this at the beginning of everything I do from now on. Give me a 1 in chat if you dig that shit. Also, our poll. Let's see what won. We've got peace on earth, worthwhile goal. Yes, 40%. 34% chose I am Optimus Prime. And the rest chose no, which was 25%. So a quarter of you are straight black pillars. Huh. Why? What did the world do to you, bro?
What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demand more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies.
Welcome back. This is the real thing. This is the real stuff. This is where the real deal takes place. And I'm going to change some things around over here because I just think I'm cool when I can do it. And there's also this.
I gotta bounce. Thanks a lot for proving just how ugly and immature you are. It's been real. And just so you know, I don't really care about your problems.
So we're all over here with the cool kids. We're just going to chill out now. Things are a lot more laid back. I'm going to drop the link over here in chat. Oh, Whoopi. Come on, man. Just be courteous. Just be nice, bro. They're all on a hair trigger tonight. We'll straighten it out later. How was that, dude?
This experience is fascinating. People are fascinating.
Oh, yes. I love it. I'm here 10 toes down just to watch folks, just like Sasquatch everywhere. We just peep at people out of the freaking woods, and that's it. That's all we're doing. Maybe throw a rock or two. I don't know. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Part 2. Come on. Do the thing. My computer has been putting up a freaking fight through this whole freaking process, bro. I keep expecting it just to completely crash out. All right, like I said, previous guests are preferred. So that's kind of with y'all. I'm not doing it tonight. We're not doing that. We'll do that later. Come by on a Groundhog's roast. We'll do that shit right up. I'll bring the flames and the smoke. It'll be fine. Y'all can say whatever the hell you want to. I'll take a strike on that day just so everybody can have their fucking say. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care what any of you think. So, point. Yeah, that's not going to work. You're not a previous guest, bro. So anyway, we're going to take a look at another video that I've got over here. Are you familiar with the Joker's plan? And you watch Batman? Like, which one was it? It was crap.
I remember many of them. Much of them.
Hold on, I've got it. It's coming up. I'm just slow, decrepit. All right, you remember this Batman, that Joker? Right? You recognize the scene? Okay. Do you remember the heist plan he had at the very, very beginning of the movie?
No.
With the bus backing through the wall. Okay, so it looks like this really super complicated plan, right? Except the plan itself is absolutely absurd. And I've had a problem with it ever since I saw that scene in the movie when it was in theaters, because I saw that one in theaters and I was like, wow, that was freaking awesome. And or all my buddies were like, wow, that's freaking awesome. And I was like, that would never work. There's no way you pull that off without them actually mentioning, because if you're supposed to kill a guy, you have to believe somebody's planning on killing you. I would. And that's part of this plan. Every single person in here is given one person to kill, and they never mentioned it to anyone else to such an extent that I was going to let you shoot me because it's part of the fucking plan. No, no, sir. No, sir.
I don't remember.
You don't remember it? All right, well, he goes over it pretty good here at the beginning. And if you get bored, you can dip out any old time you want. I'm not trying to keep you here against your will. No. It's just I'm trying to move on from focusing directly on you, and we can still have discussions. It's just, I kind of got an idea here. So this is a 23-minute long video. The name of it is The Joker's Bank Heist Plan is Terrible, and it's by the Despot of Antrim. 107,000 subscribers, and homie does some interesting work over here. He reminds me a lot of What is Anti-Logic, where he does kind of a headcanon concept. What is Anti-Logic is awesome. He's one of my favorite YouTubers because he does such little work and is so successful at it. It's amazing. Yeah, Wolfie's probably drinking. He might get a little bit wolfish. So if you look at his avatar, you'll realize that it's perfectly in character. So, like, just be nice. God, y'all are so evil. Why are y'all so bad? Anyway,
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. That's the one.
Rob a bank. The Joker steals the money, kills his entire crew, and makes a clean getaway. It's a very well shot, well acted, fun, and entertaining scene. It's a brilliant example of Christopher Nolan at his best, and it's one of the worst bank heist plans in movie history.
Take that. I'll stand beside it. I will debate anybody fight me for it. This bank heist plan is retarded. 5-year-old could have done it with crayons better.
It's very easy to watch this scene, not think too much about it, and just accept the Joker as a criminal genius who pulls off this incredible heist. The clip of the Joker's bank heist has 120 million views on YouTube, and
Okay, so one issue I have with this scene is that it plays out exactly like a GTA 5-bit. It looks like one of their heist setups. It rolls right through all the different scenes, the whole 9 yards. Totally a thing.
Any of the top...
You got something to say? Say it now or forever hold your peace.
Comment praise the Joker for his amazing, ingenious plan. But a thorough analysis of the Joker's plan exposes it as a disastrously thought-out mess that will almost certainly go badly wrong. The main problem is that the plan has too many critical success factors. A critical success factor is something that needs to happen in order for there to be a successful outcome. Let's take a much simpler and considerably better thought out and more realistic movie bank heist to demonstrate the concept of critical success factors.
All
Luke
right.
and Robin's...
So let me break this down for the folks in the back. Anytime you plan out, and I'm just talking in movies here, a complicated scene like a bank heist, the heist itself has to be validated through a capability. If there is a critical flaw in it at any point where a single thing can cause it to go wrong, there's no reason in filming that bank heist, in my opinion. If your goal is to make this man look like a criminal mastermind, you don't put together a Rube Goldberg device of shit that's going to fuck up first possible opportunity. And that's what he does. And it works. It is the most ridiculous concept you can imagine. It involves psychology. Like this fucker, just random nurse or random fucking receptionist number 2 gets handed a hand grenade, and she's supposed to maintain control over that thing, right? Half the receptionists I know got a hold of a hand grenade with the pin pulled, and I'd be utterly freaking terrified. All right, give me some gang signs. All right, that's close enough. You have a terrible microphone.
I don't know any gang signs. That was close enough, I figured. Hey, Jack.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling blessed. Groovy. I don't think we've met yet, have we?
I'm the Smoking Otter. You've met me a few times over in Flow State's channel, I do believe.
Okay.
Who doesn't like how close my camera is to my face? I'm like this most of the time.
Remember I told you, like, he's really, really nice. Absurdly nice. This is the absurdly nice guy I'm talking about. It's ridiculous.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice meeting you again.
All right, I'm going to go back to the video unless y'all have something truly epic to say. You can touch the tips if you like. I don't mind. But just make sure to let me know so I can go off of a live stream before we get there.
No.
First bank heist from the 2012 movie The Place Beyond the Pines, a movie I highly recommend. The main character, Luke, robs a small bank with a local mechanic named Robin, who he's recently met. They carry out some intelligence and planning, then hit the bank. Here's how the heist goes. Luke drives to the bank on a dirt bike, enters with his helmet and sunglasses still on. He takes control of the lobby, hands a small bag to a teller, puts a gun to his head and tells him to go round and fill the bag, then takes the bag, exits the bank and drives to the getaway van where Robin hides him inside and drives off. There are 8 critical success factors in this plan. I will give an estimate of the probable chance of success for each. 1. Conspiratorial integrity. No one snitches. There are only 2 guys in on this heist. Neither of them have anything to gain by snitching and plenty of incentive to pull off the heist, but nothing can be 100%, so we'll say the chances of this bank robbery maintaining conspiratorial integrity are 99%. Entry. This is a small bank with next to no security. The only thing that could go wrong is a teller sees Luke walking in dressed in a blank jumpsuit and helmet, panics and hits the alarm before he can get to the lobby. But that's extremely unlikely, so the chance of a successful entry is about 98%. Control. Luke takes control of the lobby by screaming like a lunatic and waving a gun around.
He's also like 6'4", dressed in a freaking all black getup that is terrifying. Looks like Darth Vader up there, dude. If you haven't seen the movie, this is a really, really freaking intense scene. And if you hadn't been paying attention up to this point, you suddenly start paying attention.
He's just lucky there isn't one crazy guy in there who's willing to tackle him for no reason other than to try to be a hero.
You're right. But what keeps people from doing that is the fear that their actions will cause someone else harm. It's not usually self-harm. It's more, I'm not going to tackle him because I can't guarantee control of that gun. Right?
Good point. Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking this stupidity of climbing up there on that table isn't very smart. Because that would have been my golden opportunity to pull on his leg and make him fall. That gun would either go flying or something. But that's just me.
You might too, dude. You just reach over and tug on a shoestring. Just like, dude. And kick him in the head and be like, damn assholes.
He'd be happy that he's wearing that helmet.
Yeah, but you can snap his neck right easy.
That's gang his fault for having a bake while I'm in there.
Show me gang signs. All right, that'll do. What's up, Flow State?
What up?
I'm pretty sure that this went the way of the dinosaur, so let's just do that. There's no point in being silly about that anymore.
Actually, in honor of Talcott, let me greet you with one of these.
So, did you see the show, or did you just show up to fuck with me?
I started with you, and then I listened to some of it while I cleaned all my tools up out of the yard because it was nighttime now.
That don't look like a crackhead.
In and out. Well, I didn't get them cleaned up in time. I wasn't working on the car at night. I was just picking up the tools in case it rained.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's nice, powdered, dusty activity.
Right. Well, I had to take apart the Cadillac.
Right? Because you got to sell parts, right?
That's exactly right.
Right.
I've been kicked off YouTube for 2 weeks. That's a whole pay period that's not coming.
Right? In. That's terrible. I hate that shit, dude. I wish we could keep you monetized. You got to figure out which fruits are going to strike your channel and distill them out, bro. Like,
I honestly, the way that my strikes have hit, I don't think it's somebody. I think that I've gotten sniffed on by, because it all started with an unlisted video, a video that had never been listed ever.
Yeah, that's always raised my freaking eyebrows, bro.
It had sat there unlisted for 9 months.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Here, let me show you this. I don't even think I showed you
You haven't told me jack, dude. I'm supposedly your fucking producer. You hadn't even send me a fucking message. I'm good with it, but it's interesting.
Are you though?
I am. I'm fine with it. It's just that usually there's more input. You're not usual. That's fine.
I will say this much: unless if that video is considered private, there is a way to go to people's channels and look at their unlisted videos if you scroll through it just right. Or it'll pop up on the first page that opens.
Pop up that share screen.
So I trust you though, bro. All right. What am I looking at here?
This is the last strike I got.
It just says
Content unavailable. Other doesn't tell me the policy. Doesn't tell me the actions. Nothing.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I told you when we first fucking met. We said, and I talked to you about your channel. I straight told you your shit has been tampered with. It's not operating properly. Somehow it is freaking broken. Something has changed, has been done to your channel because it does really weird shit like that.
So
now,
I've been
no idea what.
I've been dicking around with them through email, through little chat bots, through Twitter for 2 weeks now, and nobody can tell me anything.
So I have a theory on that. I think that back in the day on this profile, you did something. You said something. You triggered some kind of a bot that's in the algorithm somewhere that searches for that one thing, whatever it is, right? And they did things to your channel back then, and it hasn't been revisited since because what they did worked because you went quite a period there without gaining any subscribers. They pulled the whole entire thing out from under you. And it was when you met me and started, I was like, look, there's shorts, there's all kinds of different ways to go about creating activity. And the idea that activity is what drives the algorithm, not any particular subject, right? You can talk about anything you want to that's within terms of service, provided it's like activity on your channel that's once a week, 3 times a week, you know, however often you're willing to do it. The more activity you get, the more interaction with the algorithm you get, the more thumbnails you get, the more titles you get, the more hashtags, the yada, 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 that whole SEO thing.
Mm-hmm. Jack, you've had a hot guest on last couple times.
Are we talking about a turtle?
I don't know. Turtles aren't normally hot, but like, explain this to me. Somehow I miss Hot Chick Day at Talcott's.
It's true. It's true. Apparently, it was partly my fault and partly Joe Cool's fault. You see, NPC the game was talking to Eternal about why she showed up at Jack's and she was dressed up. I don't know the event. I wasn't there, but she was dressed down was the way that NPC put it, right? James, you're a real cool dude and everything, but this is a previous guest only panel. So, I mean, no, nothing personal. She sits there, she fishes for compliments for a little while and does that old basic bitch thing that all basic bitches do. And you know, we were courteous and nice.
Now.
I understand. You go ahead, white night out, it'll be fine. But she did the get your fucking lance and your big shiny shield and run to her defense. She'll be fine. I know you got it. I ain't worried about it. Captain Save her over here.
Right on.
So Joe, NPC asked her why she was dressed up slutty here, but was dressed conservatively at Jack's. And she took some kind of a affront to that, talking about how she sometimes she feels a way and other times she feels another way. And she feels this way this time. So why is that? I didn't really understand what she was trying to say. I think there might have been a language barrier. I'm not blaming her for it. Plus she was hot. So she could say whatever the hell she wanted to. And I just sit and stare at her.
That's what I said.
Right. So I don't have any particular problem with that philosophy. I'm good with it. But the thing is I laughed at something NPC said. Joe did too. She asked why I was laughing. And I told her it was because I think everyone on YouTube is funny, that all you motherfuckers are absolutely hilarious. And I can't wait to laugh at you again later because you're all funny to me. It's the human condition to make me laugh.
Okay.
And then we come to where she dips out. She comes over there and by the time she actually started talking real good, NPC had already picked up on the fact that you were live. And I guess he was watching you backstage, like in his earbud or whatever. When she popped up, he was like, hold up. This bitch still went over there trying to sabotage some motherfuckers. And I was like, calm down. There's no need to react like that. You can always deal with it later. Yeah, you're right, Sasquatch. It's like, no need causing a scene. Let's see how this plays out for her. And Joe Cool was on her ass in like, what, 5 minutes? Beautiful.
He jumps on things pretty quick.
Love it, bro. I absolutely love it. This is the Sasquatch room. That is true, Joe, who happens to be in chat. Unfortunately, you're not a previous guest, so like I can't invite you up. That's not how this one's working tonight. If you'd come on the show at some point, you'd be like up here in here like Flynn, you know, you just have the link, be sitting around for you, ready for you. But you know, it'd be like that sometimes. He gets it.
I mean, for sure, you're 1,000 times more entertaining than me, Joe, and about 1,000,000 times smarter. I know that for a fact.
Don't let him gaslight you.
Let him gaslight you.
So Jack, what's with the early? Are we still doing the early start times?
I don't know. I've just
pretty early.
Playing it by ear for a while, day to day.
Bro, are you gonna do this to me? And why? I mean, that's hard in the paint, bro.
You don't let me have any fun.
That's not me. It's not me, bro. Backstage, I'm a fun guy. Am I not? I'm even a fungus.
You needed to say no homo before that question.
But I mean, we just touch tips and a friendly reach around occasionally. I don't see the problem. It's not like we're gay.
No, it's not like that.
Not like that at all. Yeah, I don't really understand how that became what it became. It was just one of those basic bitch moments where she did some basic bitch shit, and I don't care.
I was more curious about like how Jack found her.
Yeah, no, that is a good question. How did Eternal find you, Jack? Like, how did that happen? Do you remember? I'm sure you remember. She's a fine girl. You remember.
I met her on a couple of panels, and then there was one day on NPCs prior to that day where she was sharing her life frustrations. And I know that I can help people, so I offered to help her. Her and I talked, and she showed up. We scheduled her. She was an invited guest, and her and I had spoke for an hour. And she wasn't dressed down when she was there with me, but her behavior was different.
All right, well, you saw what she was wearing when she came up on your panel the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a bit more scantily clad than the previous time she was on your channel? Or about the same?
Yeah, it wasn't much different. But she's a lovely young lady.
God bless her for it, Sasquatch.
Right? I was just curious. The impression that I got was she was somehow dressed down for the previous interaction, but if she was wearing a handkerchief,
I could kick you off your own panel, I would right now.
I know you would. That's why you can't. And that's why I never bring myself up unless you tell me to, because, you know, first time I do is probably my ass. I know it. That's how that works. It helps to be
don't know why Flow State lets me up.
This your content. Your content, bro.
Hey, I'm useful.
And, yeah, essentially. I hate to be that asshole, but I am that guy.
I try. I'm just here to try to help people and have fun and laugh at all. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the type of people I'm looking for. That's the community I'm building. People that can laugh at each other equally and not have a big old fucking stick stuck up your ass about it. Because I'm funny. Damn it. My daddy lied to me. I was funny. He just didn't like that joke. Damn it. Hey, Flow State, start eating some cereal. I hear that gets big cheese.
I just say dinner. I had actual like adult food dinner.
How dare you?
I had Outback Steakhouse tonight. It was delicious.
Well, that's more adult than mine. Of course, I've been off work for 2 weeks, so.
Yeah,
By adult dinner, I mean rice.
Right.
Microwavable rice or real rice?
I'm just kidding.
Some of that saffron shit that you have back in the cabinet that nobody ever eats.
Nah, Katie's a good cook. But I really like spicy Italian sausage. Fucking love that shit. And so,
No homo.
I knew that you were gonna do that. Anyways,
Don't forget, Flow State, you are content too.
I know, but no, I didn't eat rice tonight. I haven't even had rice all week.
So you got something against Asians?
They can't drive.
That's true. I got stuck behind one on the interstate the other day, and it was like this little old Asian lady. And the thing is like every semi that rode by her would like slow down and look because it was such a stereotype. She was in a Volvo with the left blinker on in the right lane, cruising like 43 miles an hour on a 70-mile-an-hour interstate. And everybody slowed down just to look at her because it's not often you see an actual stereotype in real
Somehow
life.
still managed to hit a mailbox.
Right? Mailbox still sitting on the hood.
She'd find the one mailbox that fell off of a truck and hit it on the freeway.
It was hilarious. I almost couldn't pass her because I didn't know what was going on. I got stuck behind her for a minute. And then when I went to pass her, I got up next to her. It was like, is that a literal stereotype?
Is there lag for anybody else, or is that just me?
It's smoking auditors feedback.
No, it's not the feedback. Like, actually, I'm getting some lag on my end.
Well, it's because everyone hates you and they don't want you to actually have a show.
Hold on, that probably is it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can do something.
Yeah, go kick it. Maybe something will fall out. So,
regarding Eternal.
Oh yeah.
Did that fix my feedback?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jack.
When she was on my stream, she did have a different energy, but the purpose was for her to share her story and stuff. And then I think there was some emotions coming out with NPC, and he saw a different energy with her, and that's what he addressed. And then confronting her with that, she reacted, and we're all learning.
I'm sorry. Noel, honey, this is a previous guest panel. You can stick around as long as you want after the show, in about 40, 50 minutes or so. When the show ends, I'll bring you up and you can talk to the panel. But until then, it's just previous guests from Sasquatch Shills. But you're welcome to stick around if you like. Are you familiar with Noel?
Yes, sir.
First time I met Noel, she was asleep. And the panel that I was on, I don't even remember whose panel it was. When I came on, they just had her on the big screen watching her sleep. And there was like 10 people just talking about Thundercats or something. Like, it was the most innocent thing you ever saw, except there was 10 people in a room live streaming some random chick sleeping. And it just felt really creepy to me. And since then, I've actually met her a couple of times, and I kind of get how that could happen.
Yeah.
It's still funny as hell.
It is, dude. People are fascinating. I'm grateful we didn't have cell phones and internet back when I was a dumb teenager, because it's bad enough that we got all these dumb adults on here.
I don't know, man. I kind of do this as part of my playground. The only reason that my wife decided to allow, see, I'm an addict, all right? I'm an addict in recovery. I've got a bunch of really horrible goddamn life stories I could lay down at you, but that's nobody's fault but my own. So I don't generally do it. Point is, I have certain self-control issues that make it better if I just don't touch money in general. Right? So all of my money is tied up in ways that make it impossible for me to go fuck myself up real good, because I'm aware of my constraints. And so I put those things in other people's hands so that I don't have to deal with the temptation, essentially. That being said, it was decided that buying me the necessities to do a YouTube channel was worthwhile, specifically for the reason of keeping me out of my wife's hair. That was what was written on the check, to keep him out of his wife's hair, which is hilarious to me.
Money well invested, right?
It actually has been. Like, for instance, I met Harry Nuts, previous guest on Sasquatch Shills. He comes to the East Coast to meet his daughter. They have a powwow. He heads south to go meet some dude in Florida, and I happen to be on vacation on an island down on the coast. We meet up, talk to each other for a couple of days, have us a big old time, went fishing, you know, huge fun. And he looks me straight in my face and goes, Sasquatch, I understand now why you do limited live streams. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're like this all the time. And that's Sasquatch light. And it must be stressful not telling the jokes you just want to tell. And I'm like, I hurt your feelings, didn't I? He said, only a little bit, only occasionally. No, it's fine. I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm sorry. Well, I was, you know, just joking. I was just having a good time. We were just hanging out.
That's a cute.
I got a little sticker from me. It says, I heart Harry Nuts. I got a whole bunch of these.
Say hi to Cotton, everyone, the blue-eyed kitten. Apparently,
hello,
her eyes match mine. At least that's what I get told.
I'm not.
She does have blue eyes. I'll give her credit.
Hey, Jack, do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Do you believe they are from outer space or like another dimension?
I haven't asked them yet. I don't know.
Okay, so next time you come across them, I want you to ask them this. Why do they keep sticking things in people's butts?
Why do people keep sticking things in people?
Okay, touche, but that's not the basis of the. No. I'm aware of this. That's true. You know why I don't believe we've been to space?
Why?
All right, so we supposedly, according to NASA, we've had these monkeys, us humans, in a can flying around in space for 50 years. Different cans, different times, different numbers of monkeys. And not once have we had a money shot that slipped up and went public. In 16 space agencies worth of public footage, there's not a single case of a man and a woman scrumping in zero G. We have no evidence that this has ever happened. And until I have evidence that it has happened, I don't believe the system even exists.
If it can happen, I want to try it.
Oh, yeah, no. See, that's exactly the way I feel like every single, especially type A astronauts, bro. These people are, I mean, even if it was an all male crew, there would still be scrumping. No, dude, I'm telling you, these people are very dedicated to being the first to do some shit. Like they're motivated as hell, bro.
Hey, maybe it has, but just because there wasn't the evidence.
But the evidence is what matters. I do not believe any of the evidence that is said that they have presented based off of the fact that some evidence is missing. They are obviously editing the evidences they give us because of this one missing fact, which brings suspicion to the rest of the evidence available.
See, the wealthy might have it.
Prove to me people have been to space by showing me a zero G money shot. I want to see the freaking I want to see the Jizz Man in space, bro. I want to see a gelatinous glob float errantly off camera for no explicable reason. Because these are people. People do this type of shit. I'm just saying, there's no possible way there are people in freaking space, and there hasn't been at least one accidental filming of some jizz somewhere at some point in time. It has to be available, and I can't find it, so I don't buy it. I don't buy none of it.
What if it is there, but like other things, it's protected behind a paywall, like the
NASA's a public resource, dude. You can go watch the space
come
station all day, every day. But at the same time, I agree with what you're saying in that it is being withheld from us. There's not supposed to be a paywall there, though. That's supposed to be public information for everybody to use for the betterment of humanity, bro. Like it's one of those types of things. And yet there's specific missing data that should be very easy to acquire and should be available every 72 hours or so.
You're also talking about the people who have lost the original moon recordings, and they don't know how to rebuild another thing to move the shuttles anymore.
Sure. But I mean, that was Stanley Kubrick's greatest work. So what do you expect?
I don't know. I know they could simulate 0G on planes if you pay them enough. They'll fly you up, and they still haven't recorded anything like that.
But
I
which
think that'd be
means
one of the first things a millionaire would do. If he just paid a couple $100,000, right? I'd have my wife up there with me. Like, no, we need to wall this off.
It wouldn't even be hard. It'd be a real simple thing. All you'd have to do is fake it one good time and show it to the world. And the question's answered. There it is. Poof. It happens sometimes, and there's evidence of it. But nowhere in all the millions of hours of various cameras on all over the space station is there a single incident of somebody doing the prison. You've seen Silence of the Lambs, right? Where homie splats Jodie Foster, right? Nobody's done that. You mean to tell me you put a bunch of men in a can floating around in space and they didn't do practical jokes on each other? That there ain't never been a fight? I'm sorry. I don't buy it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the first thing they did in their sleeping bags the first night they got there, was test out what it was like.
Now, I've read that they include things in the food to lessen that, and that also because of the way 0G affects the cardiovascular systems, things don't quite get so chubby like they're supposed to. Apparently, gravity has something to do with some of that. I don't know. That's just stuff I've read. I don't know if it's correct.
Maybe that's why it hasn't happened.
Well, yeah. So, but here's the reason why I think the question is actually important. If that is an impossible thing to do in 0G, right? If it just turns out that we can't maintain an erection or an ovum can't be inseminated, then the idea of space travel has gone completely out of the window. We're not moving fast enough to be able to get anywhere useful in any reasonable amount of time. So unless we're going to put together a generation ship with a massive torus to replicate gravity to some extent, we're not going anywhere. We're stuck right here, right in our little corner of space. And as I remember it, God's first commandment was go forth and multiply. And there's a lot of empty space out there, and I think he meant it. So come on, scientists, chop. I need a jetpack and a spacesuit, like pronto, bro. Have spacesuit, road travel. I want to see Alpha Centauri by like the end of the week. Get to it.
I just want the jetpack. I would love to be able to fly around on my own power. That'd be so fun and freeing.
You'd be dead in like 7 minutes flat.
No. I know.
First time you come for a landing, bro.
Flying crafts.
Flying is easy. Landing is the trick, really.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you will.
Ditch it, land in a pond. I'll ditch it, land in a pond.
Well, the thing is, you only get one shot at this every time you do it.
So only fly in my local areas.
Make sure you
I
actually
make it work.
No. Nut catching distance competitions. Oh my God, Blue Unicorn. Keep your private fucking thoughts to yourself, bro. I feel like I should know nobody. I mean, he's oh yeah, no, I do remember nobody now. Have you encountered nobody? All right, check this out. Guy
He
has
was
a
in here
channel.
last show.
Well, hold on. No, but you won't be able to find him. Guy has a channel.
I'm
He
subbed
goes
to
into
him.
chat. He goes into chats, and then retracts every statement as he goes along. And so there's zero evidence that this motherfucker exists in the world at all. He's literally nobody. And it made me laugh until I cried the first time I come across it. What's up, bud? Feel better? No? Yeah.
You guys are lagging less.
Oh, cool.
That's good.
Except for an auditor, he's always going to lag.
Yeah.
Hey, my brain's just wired that way.
Your phone's not
I
wired at
accept
all.
it. I mean, something's wired up there. I'm able to speak to y'all and work modern technology.
Kind of.
Hey, just
I mean,
because
that's
my
kind of
phone's always
technology.
broken like it is now and I'm watching you all through white lines,
Mine
doesn't
too.
mean there's anything wrong with me. Just my phone.
I'm going to let that just sit there. I'm not touching it.
I actually didn't hear it.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to like pick on the mentally touched. And you're far too nice to be normal, bro. It's just, I don't know.
I know he's not talking to me.
Yeah,
That's just
not
my
you.
YouTube persona.
I'm sure. And I bet you don't
That's
help
what I'm
old
going
ladies on
with.
the street, do you? This is one of those guys, I swear to God, he would accidentally end up with merit badges if he lived near a fucking Boy Scout.
No, I wouldn't. But I do like watching them build stuff for the church down the road.
Freak.
Hey, I built their fire pit and got paid for it.
Yeah.
I built them a custom 6
You know
foot
what?
fire pit.
I bet that you can buy old church buildings and live in them.
There's 3 of them in the town I live in that they've been turned into houses. Still have their stained glass and craziness.
Dude, I would totally ring that fucking bell every time I took a shot. I ain't even joking. I did. If there wasn't a bell, I'd put one
You're
in
going to
there.
ruin the church house idea for all of us.
I've been
No,
thinking about
someone would come and repo the bell from you. The town would be like, no, you've woken us up too many damn times.
Good luck. I don't think they got enough armaments. That's my bell, damn it.
No. It'd be a guy or two with proper paperwork coming to your door, handing you the paperwork. Then a couple other guys in a truck removing the bell.
I got an answer for this one right here, bro. Like you're messing with the wrong one. You don't understand. Like I come from the age of fuck around and find out, bro. Like I'm telling you.
But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces?
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot them in the back. But I don't run so good either. Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility. I don't think one would have done it. I'm going to go out and buy some more.
Okay.
And I think you should too. Don't be a victim. It's time to fight back.
Danny DeVito says it best. Don't be a victim.
That's a good clip, Chloe.
You went back out, Cotton. Go on.
Oh, wow. What else have I got over here? Oh, this one. I like this one.
Oh my God. This is so weird.
I don't know if that's AI or claymation or real person or all of it.
It's a reaction of Asmongold in his tiny little window that he uses so people can't clip him. But that was some weird shit. Apparently, he has the best eyebrows in the business.
What is the proper paperwork allowing someone to steal your shit?
Well, I don't do the paperwork, bro. I let my secretary do it. Alonzo, what's his name? Goddamn it, smoking.
Alonzo, yeah. But
Is it
I
Alonzo?
believe what
Lorenzo.
PlayState's looking for
Lorenzo.
is eminent domain. That allows the government just to steal your land and shit and tell you to
I
move
think they're
on
talking
for a
about civil
proper amount
asset
of money,
forfeiture.
allegedly.
I thought they were talking about like just like intellectual content. I mean, the thing is fair use is a fairly broad definition, and unless you're a public entity with the copyright system behind you capable of taking action, yeah, you can use anything you want because it's all reactionary and changing.
Okay, now was that him, or did
That's
anybody else
what
have
I-
him come through choppy?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Super choppy.
Okay.
StreamYard doubled its prices and then got shitty.
That's the way it works.
Come in sounding like the fucking Borg.
That's better.
Yeah, it'll probably do it again here in about 20 minutes.
What time is it? Peak hour?
That shit. I don't know what it is to do it. It's my soundboard. I use Voice Meter Banana as my mixer, and it allows me to bring in different stuff on different channels. Which makes the whole production thing a little easier.
Soundboard. I want one.
I
of
have
those
a
little,
question for you
little
guys.
buttons.
Any idea why certain channels will only call me the auditor, while other channels will only call me the smoking?
There's a
lot of syllables in your name.
Yeah, there are a bunch of syllables. Most people go for the shortest one they can say, but also if you've got a monetized channel, they don't really smile well on the whole concept of promoting smoking in any way. And so just saying smoking might fruit up somebody somewhere. So they skip it and just call you auditor.
If I ever learn to edit, there's like 10,000 channels that say my name just because I go there and I'll mess around with their donation things.
I get really, really good reactions from Black YouTube. Black YouTube loves my name. Remember when I first met you, I told you I was having problems getting into Black YouTube, that I'd just outright get blocked as soon as I showed up in chat. Like, just as soon as I said hi. Noel, I did explain to you that this is a guest stream. The previous guests of Sasquatch. We've got about another.
Let me up. Let me up. Let me up.
I don't know what she's saying. I can't hear her, but I'll let you up.
Jack,
If you'd like to be a guest on Sasquatch, please email him. His email is in his contact information.
And I mean, King Stephen.
I want you to listen to something. I want you to listen to something. I might be able to smooth you over in the Black community after this.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that nigga famous. Oh my god. He honorary nigga over here though. Yeah, we don't do no white people over here. He honorary nigga over here.
I'm working on my own black card, bro. Like I've got a little.
I don't even need the card anymore. I'm honorary.
Honorary, I got you. So they got you in the database over there at Black Headquarters. You're not even touching it. The powdered dusty strikes again.
I gave you the black. I gave the black power fist.
Oh yeah, okay, that'll do. That's good enough. Oh wow.
Boobs going on.
So what if you woke up tomorrow and found out that Jack Talcott had 1 million subscribers?
I would try to grab a coattail, and he would shake me off and throw me in a dungeon.
You get clout chase. I clout chase. I'll do it shamelessly.
I'd be like, Jack, let me get some of that clout. He'd be like, fuck you, capitalist.
I think that might be an accurate assessment. But it's okay because I'm gonna get a clout siphon, and I'm gonna siphon some clout in my tank and then siphon it over into some other people's tanks.
I'm gonna make counterfeit love signs and sell them.
Counterfeit love.
That is ironic.
It'll be like LOV.
You'll
You'll know that it's counterfeit because the E is actually a 3. You're like, hey, I got authentic Jack Talcott love signs. I'll be like, man, this is a 3. This isn't even
from Temu.
Right.
Hey, we can all rise together, though. That's the thing that I see is possible. No,
you all get a million subs. I ain't coming on your panels. That'd be too. No, I'm good.
You'd probably still be pestering me with 150-cent cash app at a time.
Damn right.
Yeah, we'll say 50 cent. We ain't gonna tell them the real amounts that I used to.
How do we feel about the concept of manifestation? Like manifesting things.
I believe in it more than probably most people would suspect, and more than I'm probably proud to admit publicly. But
all right, so I've run this one by you, Jack. How do you feel about manifestation? Where do you stand on that?
It's a part of the reality we live in.
Okay. All right. Do you believe in coincidence?
Not so much. No.
Okay. Well, this is another one of those dividing lines in people that I mention occasionally, Flow State, that I'm like, they're different. You gotta spot them where you find them, and I can't tell you where they're going to be at because some people believe in coincidence and some people don't. And the people who don't,
well, when you say believe in coincidence, what you mean is, do you think that there is meaning behind everything that happens? Right.
Yeah, it's a quick way
because
to
a coincidence is just something without meaning.
According mathematically, yes. When you define it in a logistical system that doesn't take into account the miraculous, yes.
Okay, so Jack, you think that there's meaning behind everything that happens? Like I ordered the wrong size earrings and now I got to return them. That there's meaning there.
There's a reason that you got the wrong size. And there was a meaning.
Yeah, because I was rushing and I'm retarded.
So hey, and that's the lesson. You can assign whatever.
You've been telling me that forever.
We've tried to tell you, but you do not pay us any attention. Your ego fills up the entire room, bro.
More than often, the lessons you have to learn multiple times are the most important ones because you don't ever learn them.
Stop being nice.
Well, do you guys believe in coincidences? The rest of you?
I believe in coincidence. I believe coincidence is a perfectly rational explanation to unusual things happening around you. I don't believe there has to be any higher power running those coincidences, only to set the things in motion. So I'm not discussing the Big Bang or the creation of life, but I am talking about the fact that I tripped going out my back door the other day, and I don't think that was God's plan. I think I'm just a clumsy bitch.
Coincidence I view as simply lacking an explanation or a connection. And there's lots of things that happen where we consciously can't see a connection, but I'm convinced it actually just helped. Maybe it's just self-soothing, but I feel that there's a purpose for everything. I just don't necessarily understand the meaning.
For some reason, I find the thought that everything has meaning behind it unsettling.
That bothers
goddamn, can't I just stub my toe without it having?
Right.
You know what you should find unsettling is the fact there's two people in everyone's brain. One on the
what
right
I find
side,
unsettling
one on
is
the
how
left side.
glitched out everyone got.
What gets me is if you step on a Lego, God doesn't hate you. Or maybe he does because you did step on a Lego. I mean, this is the problem I have with the concept of someone that doesn't believe in coincidence, because I accept that you believe that God has a plan and he's in everything, and that you believe that, and I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. it's when that becomes insisted upon being repeated. Like when you want me to say that and to say it with fervor and faith that I don't feel. And I can't do that because I explained to Jack earlier how I feel the relation between me and God is. And outside in front of my house, I have a sidewalk. That sidewalk has an ant on it. And if I walk down that sidewalk, I don't care if I step on that ant. It's not even a thought process. But that's not the relationship between me and God. On that ant is an amoeba. And on that amoeba is a paramecium. And that paramecium never even entered my thoughts when I walked down the fucking sidewalk. So that might be closer to it.
I just want to say this much. If God has a plan and his plan comes to fruition, that means everything was already thought out and we never had free will to begin with. If we
Which
had
means
free will, that means there can't be a plan made that works for sure.
Which means that fucking Lego was his fault the whole time. And I don't buy it. I just do not buy it, man. I don't think I matter that much.
He is you. It was your fault. The Lego was there.
Yeah, you're right. I did put that Lego there, but I was thinking my wife would step on it and not me.
And that's karma.
Okay, I got you. It was a really funny joke until I stepped on the Lego.
Right?
Laughed all night.
Well, if there really is, from our perspective, there really is only the experience. The experience we know is the only thing we'll know. And the experience, it can be meaningless, it can be scary, it can be painful, it can be joyful, it can be pleasant, it can be whatever we want. It's all in the story we tell.
The winners write the stories.
Ooh, yes.
No, the survivors write the stories. Just because they survived doesn't mean they win.
Survivors won. Yeah, no, they won. If there was anything to win, the survivors won it. The future is what they win. No one else gets the future because they're all dead. The survivors win the future.
Well, this idea of the winners tell the tales. You take another part of that where history is reported in the news each day. Well, if they're lying to us in the news, that means they're winning and we're losing. Because the tales are not always true that they're reporting.
Oh, we lost Smoking. All right. Dude, he's got a terrible connection. It's always hit and miss as hell with him. So we got a couple of minutes left before I'm going to end the show. You got anything you want to spill on everybody before we go?
Just love. That's all I got.
All right, try it again, dude.
As I leave, the only thing I have to offer is love. And the reminder of love. Love is pretty cool. And it's always available. Just got to believe in it.
All right, bud. Smoking. Tell everybody bye. We're getting the fuck out
Y'all
of here.
have a good evening, good morning, whatever time it is. Stay safe and see you all in the next live stream. Goodbye.
Magnificent. Absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Sasquatch Shills and Sasquatch After Dark. For those of y'all who are not familiar, email me. It's floating around out there. It's CaucasianSasquatch@gmail. It shouldn't be too hard to get through. I don't interview absolutely everyone, but I am fairly open on who I do interview. We discuss primarily YouTube, and we really don't get too far off the beaten track on it. So this has been absolutely amazing, and frankly, I'm going to go out with a little bit of a fan favorite. Like, everybody loves this bit. So I love each and every one of you like a brother and a sister. But if y'all give me any trouble tonight, I'll run every single damn one of y'all off this mountain.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go.
On my own, here we go.
If you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
The communists declared that the real differences among our people constituted the weakest and most vulnerable point in our social fabric.
It's MAGA country.
This is no hoax, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you to run for your lives while you can.
We're not making this up just so we can take over the world.
The old dinosaur media isn't dying, it's dead. We are the new media. This is our world now. Lay down and die.
Peace was never an option. So if we don't step up and win this culture war, then who the fuck will?
Let's wake the fuck up! We're gonna get naked.
No.
I'm locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
That's what you've been waiting for. Be the one we need.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Global industrial complex.
Yep.
Uniparty.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
The point is to destroy Western civilization from within using Maoist technique. So therefore you have to vote for me.
I don't know. This is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Hey.
Woke is Marxism, evolved to attack the West.
Hey!
Stop giving up.
It's only just begun! Now!
Do it! Yes, you can!
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Just do it!
Are people bitching about that?
Some people.
Of course they are. Oh, fucking A. All right, got it. Yeah, too fucking bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Any far left conspiracies, to be honest with you.
Ain't no single entity going to swoop in and save the day. You are going to be continuously let down if you place all of your hope into one individual. Instead, look inside and look around. We're doing this together.
We all are fighting for the same thing, and we all see the same problem.
It's time to stop being an NPC, get off your ass, and join the meme war.
Shame! Shame!
No, I don't like you.
Shame!
If we were in the wild, I would attack you.
I'm sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. I will not do it again.
Thank you. I wonder how many people feel exactly the same way.
Be the beating drum at the head of the growing creative cavalry charge. Be vocal and profound in your passion for projects you enjoy.
No more excuses.
I've seen it. I can't even compute all of it. It's so fantastical. You've not seen nothing. You ain't heard nothing. You ain't smelled nothing like this. I don't have words to tell you.
A new world order.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Hey, wait a minute.
You control population, you destroy the family, and then you you sow division.
You don't need a destination when you're running on an omnidirectional treadmill.
Are we ready for a new world order?
You'll never defeat the human spirit. You'll never defeat God. You'll never win.
Pray that he is watching.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you.
On my own, here we go.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Everybody, you all have fun now.
How is your